Hey, welcome to Historizing the MC Culture, episode 20. Custom traditions of the MC culture. So, this episode is an introduction to various customs and the culture and the origins. And so, I intend to only touch on them briefly and serve as the impetus for you to go further and do your own research into the historiography of the subject. So, let's go ahead and get it on, man. We know that the MC culture is an amalgamation of other cultures, and there are some customs that deserve attention in regards to a significance to this life. And so this episode is going to look to explore those various customs. So let me introduce to you an old school practice. This practice is exercised within the Masonic guilds and is still exercised within some MC chapters who hold on to the tradition. And the practice is called passing the hat. In the Masonic guilds, the treasurer would brief any grievance from the brothers regarding their financial situations that they made public. And the worshipful master would then take off his top hat and have one of the wardens pass the hat around the guild, and they would take up an offering for that brother. In the MC community, we used to do the same thing for a brother who had financial struggles. We did it to help a brother who had legal troubles, brothers who had a down bike that they couldn't afford to get up, brothers who had kids who were doing a fundraiser, et cetera, et cetera. What we didn't allow to happen was a brother getting so far behind in dues that his rags were confiscated. We didn't allow a brother to get so far behind that he couldn't keep a roof over his head. We didn't allow a brother to get so deep in the hole that he felt he had to take his own life to relieve the pressure. See, this is how we once took care of each other and exercised that enigmatic word called brotherhood. See, we keep the traditions alive and take care of your brother just beyond the surface. That is the custom of passing the hat. Another custom is called the first drink custom. And there exists a gesture today that is the direct result of cultural influence. And like many other examples of amalgamation, this gesture is adopted from the cowboy culture and can be found in clubhouses today. This is the brief history of having your first drink on the house. The first drink on the house came from the cowboy culture. When an unknown drifter would wander into town, the local outlaws would buy him the first drink on the house as a goodwill gesture and as a point of investigation. This was to see if he was a bounty hunter, a lawman, a rival, or an outlaw like them. An outlaw would gladly accept the drink to show that he wasn't either of the others. A bounty hunter or a lawman or even a rival would be careful and slow to accept the drink because they didn't want to be inebriated or, worse, poisoned. So the first drink would start a conversation. And if your name and reputation preceded you, then it was a show of respect. That is the custom known as the first drink on the house. The next one I want to talk about is entitled Fuck Off. And it is the middle finger salute, which is an expression used by bikers to bikers as an acknowledgement and a greeting. The origin of flipping the bird to other bikers as you see them on the road can be traced back to the origin of OMCs themselves. The practice became so prevalent that it enticed Honda to create their famous slogan, "You meet the nicest people on a Honda." Ad came from 1963. And this was an apparent jab at hardcore bikers who rode choppers and Harley Davidsons and other American iron, as we call it. The middle finger salute also had the same effect on the general public as using the Nazi swastika and the Iron Cross once had. It was used for shock value, as well as sending a clear message of fuck off to those who didn't live the biker life, nor did they care to understand the biker culture. But we as bikers have always known that the middle finger salute is a wave of honor and a show of respect from one biker to another. The middle finger salute isn't branded by one club. Rather, it's been a part of the MC culture since the genesis of outlaw bikers going back to the mid-1940s. No one club has a monopoly on the salute. And any biker can throw the middle finger salute to any other biker, and the message is universal. It's not reserved for outlaws or purely dominants, but rather it's a common expression among all bikers, and all bikers have the freedom to throw the middle finger salute. Another custom which I want to talk about is known as the last rev. The passing of a fellow club brother or sister is something that we never hope to have to endure. The reality of it is, if you live long enough, that day will surely come. There is a tradition within the motorcycle club culture that has been around for many years, and it's called the last rev. This act takes place at the very end of the gravesite ceremony. The road captain, while standing beside his or her bike, starts their engine. Everyone standing beside their bike follows suit and starts their engines as well. The road captain then starts the rev, long revs, with everyone else joining in except for the tail gunner, who just waits until everyone else is finished. And after the cacophony of sounds have gone up from everyone revving their engine, the road captain will stop the rev, and all the others will stop their rev, and all the bikes will continue to be idle. Then, only then, the tail gunner will give the last rev. And at that point, everyone mounts up on their bikes and rides away as quiet as possible. Normally, the last rev is done at the cemetery, unless there will be no cemetery service. Then it is done at the funeral home or the church after the last viewing, just prior to everyone leaving. The significance of the last rev is to alert heaven that a biker is on their way home to ride the roads of paradise. This has been Historizing the MC Culture, episode 20. My name is Prophet, member of Outcast Motorcycle Club. As we always say, each one teach one. Customs and traditions of the MC culture. I see you on the high ground. Peace.